The world is fast changing and news breaks at lightning speed. Let us guide you through events and stories about global narratives and developments in geopolitics, diplomacy, foreign affairs, and world economy. Get factual and multi-angle perspectives on stories around the globe. Global Television brings you Diplomatic Perspective every Monday and Friday at 9 p.m. with Ramsey Enoch Agbo. Diplomatic Perspective, the world in front of you.
Hello and welcome to Diplomatic Perspective on Global Television, coming to you live from the nation's capital, Abuja, Nigeria. This is that time where we bring you the perspective to stories from around the world. Today, we have two major stories to talk about. My name is Ramsey Enoch Agbo. I want to get started from the Minister of Foreign Affairs of Nigeria and the President of Ambassador Yusuf Tuga, and the Chairman of the Committee on Foreign Affairs, European Union Parliament, Mr. David McAllister, who made a commitment during a courtesy visit of the EU Parliament delegation to Nigeria in Abuja, Nigeria's federal capital territory. Tuga, in an opening remark, said the relationship between Nigeria and the European Union, that is EU, has been a long-lasting relation that dates back to decades. He also said Nigeria will do everything humanly possible to strengthen the diplomatic and parliamentary relations with the European Union, that is EU. Let's bring you that story and what the minister have said and the response that came from his counterpart.
Ladies and gentlemen, for us, any visit from the European Union has to be considered a very, very important one, because Europe still remains our largest trading partner. Figures may vary, but it is not less than 31.8 billion euros. And we consider ourselves neighbors. As I keep saying, for those who understand or at least appreciate a bit of Latin, Mediterranean means water in the middle of land. That's the Mediterranean Sea. So perhaps maybe because of the way geography is interpreted these days, we think of a sea being the dominant element. But where Europe is concerned in its relations to Africa, what we have is water in the middle of land. So it's really, we're closer than we imagine. Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, the relationship between Nigeria and the European Union, or I should also say the relationship between ECOWAS and the EU, is one that is very important to security, to our economy, to development as a whole. And it is for this reason that Nigeria became the 77th shareholder of the European Bank for Reconstruction and Development quite recently. There are several areas of collaboration, and as you know, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu emphasizes food security as his #1 priority, because we are a nation of 230 million people. We are expected to become 400 million by the year 2050, so in 25 years' time. So we are in a race against time to create as many jobs as possible, to feed that population, ensure that population is healthy. And not only that, as a leader in our region and on the continent, we also have the burden of responsibility to ensure the integration of markets in the region, on the African continent, and for Africa as a whole to develop. And we have a lot of lessons to learn from the European Union that incidentally also is still talking about how to integrate more. So it gives us hope, and it is clearly a model that we seek to emulate, and we are rest assured here to do whatever is necessary to strengthen those ties, the existing ties, and to continue to work and collaborate with the European Union.
Now, in response, the chairman of the Committee on Foreign Affairs of the European Union, that is EU Parliament, Mr. David McAllister, he said that the European Union and Nigeria have maintained and continue to maintain a thriving and long-standing diplomatic relation. He also said the visit to Nigeria as Africa's most populated country is key to strengthening the long-lasting relations, adding that it will also be instrumental to the successful hosting of the upcoming EU-Africa Summit. The high-powered delegation of the European Union Parliament, comprising of both men and women members of the Parliament who have also visited Ghana and some few other African countries, are now in Nigeria. And this is to tell you of the diplomatic relations that Nigeria has with other countries. Let's get to hear the response from the delegation.
Delegation of the European Parliament's Foreign Affairs Committee. We are 6 members in total from 5 different countries, from 3 different political groups in the European Parliament. And this shows a cross-party interest in further deepening, strengthening the relations between the European Union and Nigeria. Nigeria is considered as a strategic partner for the European Union. We have a long-lasting, good and close relationship based on shared values and also on joint interests. The European Parliament's Foreign Affairs Committee travels with smaller delegations a few times a year to other parts of the world, and we mainly travel to get to know better the countries, to understand better the challenges these countries are facing, also the opportunities these countries have, and we are also there to very carefully listen. And that's why it was a great honor for us to be received by the Honourable Minister, and His Excellency took more than 1.5 hours of his precious time to really go into detail with many, many questions we had as regards the further development of the African Union, the further development of ECOWAS, the developments in all neighboring countries of Nigeria, but also what take Nigeria has as the most populous country in the African continent on the further development at a global level. And we were also delighted, not only that we were allowed to ask questions, but the Minister was also very interested in finding out how the further developments of the European Union will look like, because just like Nigeria, just like ECOWAS, we in the European Union, of course, are also facing enormous challenges. I would say, to sum up in one sentence, Nigeria matters. Nigeria matters for us in the European Union, and we in the European Parliament are very keen to take the relationship with Nigeria to the next level, and this will be our message when we come back home to Brussels.
All right, that is a beautiful one, and that's to tell you of how much countries around the world, especially EU countries, believe in the country Nigeria. But for the United States, it is a different ball game altogether, as Donald Trump already designated Nigeria as a of particular concern over genocide claims, and this has been making round in Nigeria and around the world. As a matter of fact, it has been in some major news agencies around the world, including Nigeria too, where you have a lot of media reactions, federal government reaction to the statement. But what is it all about? The United States has redesignated Nigeria as a country of particular concern after President Donald Trump expressed concern that Christians face an existential threat in the West African nation. But the existential threat that he's talking about, according to him, has to do with genocide, with a lot of Christians being killed, according to him, and the resignation came after a wave of campaign by American and European far-right politicians and commentators that claim that there was Christian genocide in Nigeria, meaning some persons have gone ahead to actually look at these issues. And Donald Trump said he is focused on changing the situation in Nigeria. But the Nigerian government has insisted that Christians are not being singled out for attacks, while also acknowledging that it has security challenges, meaning the Nigerian government is not shying away from the fact that there are terrorist attacks here and there. But what they are saying is that this attack is not particular on a particular religion, that Nigeria is a country that practices different religion. Now, let's get to the reactions from the government. On the government side, we've got some reactions coming in, but we will be looking at that of the Ministry of the Foreign Affairs. In a statement released by the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, that's the Nigerian Ministry of Foreign Affairs, described Mr. Trump's claim that extreme group were killing thousands of Christians on a large scale as inaccurate and, of course, also unreflective of the true situation in the country. There is a security situation in the country, but singling out a particular religion is what the Ministry of Foreign Affairs have said it's not in line with what is really happening in Nigeria. That is the reaction from the government, and we are just taking this reaction from the Ministry of Foreign Affairs.
The federal government of Nigeria has made our position clear on different platforms that the designation is not acceptable by us. The designation is orchestrated by claims that there is a Christian genocide in Nigeria. As a government, we acknowledged that there have been some killings in the country, but the killings are not restricted to Christians alone. There is no threat to the Christian community in Nigeria that there is a state-sponsored or non-state actors orchestrated plan to exterminate the Christian population in the country. We mourn all those that have been victims of the killings in the country, but we always emphasize that the killings involve both Christians, Muslims, traditional worshippers, as the case may be. And some will even say the government is silent about the killings. Fine, if you lost a loved one and you perceive that the perpetrators have not been hurriedly dealt with, those pains will be there. But I can assure you that government is doing a lot to make sure that they get justice for those that have been victims. From the killings in some parts of Plateau to southern Kaduna to Benue, the military in recent times have made some arrests. Some persons are currently being prosecuted in the courts of law. So the government is trying its best to make sure that they curtail the killing. In fact, the death of any Nigerian in any part of the country is a loss to the country. So the government will not be happy seeing that the nationals or citizens are being slaughtered in any part of the country. So we'll continue to work hard to redouble our efforts to ensure that no Nigerian is killed anywhere in the country.
Other people have actually reacted to it, political office holders, Nigerians alike. But right now, we have some Nigerians who have also reacted to this situation. And we will be hearing from the Nigerians themselves as they react to this situation.
Things do happen for a reason. And in life, there must be challenges. So is to other countries, probably even our neighboring countries. Life is not all about killing. If they can do things that will bring peace into the country, that should be better. But coming with violence, Donald Trump coming with violence, or Nigeria as a whole holding the violence down, is not good at all. We as a Nigerian presently now, what we are aging for is good government for peace to reign. Donald Trump is handling his own country for his own peace to reign too. Even US in particular, they are not safe. But if they can join hands together for peace to reign, that is all what we pray for. Because unnecessary killing going on, suffering going on, if it didn't end from now, our children coming will still face it. So that is life for you. Donald Trump bringing up something like that, probably he have seen the future of Nigerians, but we Nigerians, we still need to work for ourselves. But all we pray for is for peace to reign. Thank you.
And I think what Donald Trump is trying to do is the best for us. We need assistance. It's like everybody is keeping quiet, and the way they are watching us, that something is being done, nothing is being done, and the killing continues. Especially this period, this December period, we hear a lot of bad news from the north and from Makurdi. Like every time, like this time every year, they kill people a lot in that area. So all those news, they are seeing it, and they are seeing that nothing is being done about it. So that's why they want to interfere. That's why they want to assist. So if they want to do it, it's okay. I think it's the best for us.
You know, we Nigerians, we already know our problem. And Donald Trump coming to Nigeria to intervene in what is happening in Nigeria is a no-no for me. Because we Nigerians, we know our country. We know from where our problems are coming from. So I think we Nigerians to come together as one and try to resolve the issue on ground. Because now that somebody else from outside have seen Nigeria as an issue of concern, it means there is a huge problem in the country. So I think we Nigerians should just try to come together. Our leaders and the people should come together as one and try to resolve this issue, rather than allowing somebody else to come into our home and take charge of everything, so that at the end of the day, we will lose our dignity, we will lose our pride as a country. So for me, coming to Donald Trump coming in to intervene for Nigeria is a no-no for me. Thank you.
We've been observing on an international scale. So those of us that are neutral and have been observing the international space, what we see are gross violations by America and Israel with regards to the United Nations. If the United Nations as a world body says this, as long as Israel and America say no, that's it. They are going and they're doing as they please and whatever. So internationally, like I said, to answer your question, there are laws. Are we following them? That's the question. Again, something that was lost during the times of Mandela. I think when Mandela was in prison, I think wherever Nigerian government, let's call it Nigerian government, let's not talk about who was head of state at the time. We added our voice to the struggle. You know, we were there during ECOMOG. Nigeria was known for going around Africa and sincerely dousing conflict. We did not need your resources. We did not need your money. We were just there to help as our international African brothers. Okay? So again, it always boils down to sincerity. You know what I mean? Must it be America? Is the question. We need help, but it doesn't need to be you. It might be China, it might be America, it might be Russia, it might be whoever that sincerely wants to help. Right? Now, if you play chess, you know you don't want to be a pawn. All right? It is all part of the strategy. Right? So there will be those that will need to be collateral damage in order to get to where we're going. But let us not allow ourselves to become that in somebody else's chess game. You know what I mean? If we want to implode, let it be on our own terms. If we want to fix ourselves, let it be us that is fixing ourselves from in outwards. So that when the world sees a Nigerian, they see that doctor, that engineer, that scientist that's working in NASA, not the ones that are doing 419, and even on 419, yeah? Let's look at what's happening with the Yahoo boys, right? What is government doing? They are harassing them, they're attacking them. Again, they exist because of your poor governance, all right? But that they exist is an opportunity Today, the world is all about cyber warfare. The biggest country, America, they are all just hacking each other. You understand? They're even going as far as attacking private corporations, hacking this, hacking that. You know what I mean? Why don't you tap into this God-given talent that these children have, right? Bring them into an agency, right? Say they do all these things to get money and flex. Do it legitimately. Create something like the FCC when Obasanjo created the FCC. But this one is more about cyber warfare, whatever it is. You know what I mean? Cyber technology. Let's not call it warfare. Cyber technology. Bring these people in. Put them on decent salaries. When they go to club, let it be that they are flexing because I am agent so and so of this agency. You know, as opposed to I did hotel room and I just did scam people. You know what I mean? No, put that knowledge, put that gift to good use on a national level where we the citizens will be proud of what you're doing. You know what I mean? Like I said, that's the world we live in today. It's cyber technology, artificial intelligence. Why aren't we utilizing that God-given natural resource? You know what I mean? We keep talking about our natural resources. We, the people, our people, that's our biggest resource. So yeah, internationally, we need to step up. We used to be called the giant of Africa, right? We let that label, that designation go down. You know what I mean? Other African countries right now are doing fantastically well. Look at Tanzania, Rwanda, under Paul Kagame, right? One could make the argument that you have overstayed your welcome, right? But I am for continuity, right? So I am for a benevolent dictator, if that benevolent dictator has our interests at heart, right? So we are not for dictatorship, we are not for anything, we are for democracy, right? Help us. So like I said, I'm not averse to foreign aid or foreign help to help us, right? If we ask for it, right? And when we ask for it, let there be a clear agenda, a clear focus on where you want to go, what do you want to use this aid for. Let the other person that you're asking this thing of, it's like me coming to ask you for money now, do you understand? If you feel like I'm going to go and do with it is just go and jolly and have fun, you may be reluctant. But if you can see somebody with sincerity, a guy has come before you and he's only asking for 20,000 naira to go and buy pots and pans so that she can now start doing akara. You understand? If you can see the sincerity in that woman, and feel like, yeah, if I give her this money, you know what I mean, she'll be good, she's not going to throw it away. And even if she does end up not being successful, it is not because of the lack of trying. You understand? Respect the sovereignty of people. So we talk about laws, international laws. Nah. You know what I mean? You cannot say that. You say, oh, we cannot, China, abuse of human rights. Yes, no, who knows, whatever, but look at China. They are thriving. The people are thriving. Now, when they talk, say they do human rights, the people there don't know the complaint.
These are reactions from Nigerians. Some believe that Nigeria is a sovereign state and, of course, have the right to handle its own peculiarity, whether it is banditry, kidnapping, and terrorism. And you can hear from the reactions coming from Nigerians that some are saying it is needful for intervention from other countries. That's to tell you that Nigerians are coming with divergent perspectives to this very incident and the statement that was released by the President of the United States. We'll keep our fingers crossed and bring to you the developing stories from this statement and this incident. As a matter of fact, this is going to be the size of Diplomatic Perspective today. My name is Ramsey Enoch Agbo. Many thanks for joining us today on Diplomatic Perspective. Bye-bye for now.